Hi kindergarten, and welcome back to our writing time. So today is that day that we have been working towards where we are going to start writing out our actual report. So what you're going to see today is you're going to see these two papers. Now these two papers are papers that we're going to be using for the rest of this week to finish writing it. So today you might not use this paper, and that's okay. We might just be using this one. And then this is going to be our extra paper for the sentences that we're going to be writing tomorrow and then the next day. So if you don't use both of these, that's okay, but I want you to keep them safe. Now, like I said last week, the papers that we were doing are going to be super, super important. So that means we had this paper where we wrote down 2 things about our person. And then we had this paper where we learned about biography. And we wrote down more stuff about them. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to get these papers out because they're going to be really important and they're going to help you. There was also another paper that looked like this one where you wrote down where they were born, right? So what we're doing today is we're going to write just 2 sentences and they're going to be like our introduction. So our introduction means that they're going to tell people what you are writing about. And that's going to be so, so important because if you were just to give your story to somebody, they have no idea what you're writing about or who you are writing about. And so the first 2 sentences that you're writing should tell them who it is and what you are writing about. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to do just that. We are going to write down who our person is. And so I'm going to give us a sentence starter to show us what it should look like. Now, when we are doing our sentence starter, we're starting off our paper, you can say a couple of different things, and I'm going to give you a few different options. So the first option is going to be, my report is about. So your report this is going to be your report, right? You're telling other people about your person. You're reporting about them. So you're going to say, my report is about. So I'm going to write that down for us so that you guys can see. So I'm going to write it on my whiteboard, and then you guys can copy that down, and then you're going to fill in the name of your person. So I will be right back after I finish writing this down for you. So I'm looking at it says, my report is about, and then on this, then you're going to write down the name of your person. So if your person was Ruby Bridges, you're going to say, my report is about Ruby Bridges. So you're just going to write down whoever your person is. Now remember, at the end of your sentence, you need your period. So you need a period at the end of the sentence to tell the reader to take a breath when they're reading, and then they can continue on with the next sentence. The other thing is, my first letter of the sentence is a capital letter, and you're going to notice all the other ones are not. My other ones are all lowercase. And then I have my finger spaces between them. They're not all together because it's going to be really hard to read that way. Now, the other important thing that we're going to know is when you're writing your person's name, the first letter of their name is capital letter. So if your person is Ruby Bridges, you are going to do, so Ruby, the R is a capital letter. And if her last name is Bridges, the B is also a capital letter. So the first letter of any name is going to be capital, first or last name. So now that is what your first sentence is going to look like. My report is about. And then you're going to write down who your report is about. Now the next thing that you're going to write down is on one of your papers, you wrote down where they were born. And so I just want you to recopy that sentence. It's just going to tell somebody a little bit of information about when they were younger, where they were born, and maybe where they grew up. And so you're just going to write down that exact sentence that you had on this paper. You're just going to say, Ruby Bridges was born in, and you're going to write down that information. So those are the only 2 sentences that we are writing down today. Those are the only 2 things that we're going to write down today, and then we'll write more tomorrow. All right, guys, have a great day.